What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are going to take a look at Galadriel from Asmus Toys, and you can order. I believe this is still available at Big Bad Toy Store. If not, you can head over to Asmus Toys, because if you do, you will get this exclusive edition, which I think is so worth it. This, you see the box, the exclusive edition box is bigger than the actual figure. Well, we'll take a look at that later. And as you can see here, this is Lady Galadriel. I got 467 out of 1500. First and foremost, I want to thank Asmus for making this review possible. And let's take a look at here. They got the good old reliable stand from Asmus Toys. And you can already see a bunch of hands. So now this is Lady Galadriel. So it inspired me to request for this, because of Rings of Power. You know, it showed a different angle of Galadriel from that show that maybe, you know what, I always wanted to basically get everyone from Lord of the Rings anyway. That lore is just near and dear to my heart. And as you can see here, this is the instruction manual. So the rings are removable, so you can insert it in and out. And then the base itself, the exclusive edition, which is crazy. That it's just a quote-unquote bonus. Now, keep in mind, it's massive. It's bigger than the actual figure itself. So shipping might cost a little bit extra, but trust me, I think it is worth it. This is Cate Blanchett as Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. I don't exactly know which one. Maybe Fellowship, perhaps, because of the entire water thingy. So I'm assuming that is the case. So let's take a look at the accessories. So she comes with fisted hands. They didn't need to have that in there. She didn't punch anyone, but it's there. You got the pointy hands, which I believe you could use to hold stuff as well. But you see the ring is already inserted. I think two of them has the ring. One is already inserted on the figure, which she does have when she is, like the open palm hands. You can see there's a nice detail on the ring. It's on the manual. I don't know what it's called, honestly. And you get the two holding hands for this jar / pitcher, whatever, elven vase, if you want to call it. It is nicely textured as well. You can see all the details in here. It's made out of plastic. It's hollow inside, so you can probably put real water in here if you wanted to. But I remember that scene when, they don't have mirror, of course, so they kind of show the future to Frodo. And you get also the stand, the usual Lord of the Rings here. So this is the exclusive edition now. So now you are looking at, they call it a cape. I don't remember her wearing this. I gotta rewatch the movie, but it's nice. It is included in there, so you could make a use of this. And then you got the basin full of water, as you can see right there. Pretty nice as well. So you got this clear effect that looks like water. I don't know what they used in there. That's pretty cool. And you can see the basin itself has some elvish, design, whatever the case is, but it looks pretty cool. You got that water effect there. And this, my goodness, this is huge and heavy. So worth of this. This is how you do exclusive edition. Not a hologram, but you have almost no choice but to get this from Asmus stores, because I highly recommend this. This is beautiful. I mean, you could use it for a myriad of things. Not just the scene, but, like if you are doing photography and whatnot. I'm a sucker for diorama pieces and accessories, especially something this big and significant. I highly recommend it. It is beautiful. Like the carving, just the feel of it itself is nice. So now let's take a look at the body and the outfit for Galadriel. I always said this. I like the fact that Asmus uses kind of like this rubberish texture when it comes to their belt. I'm glad that they're not using those pleather materials that we know just would deteriorate over time, especially in humid countries. I never had a problem that myself, but I don't want to ever have that problem. I know one time this hot toy is almost like 10 years old. I'm almost having trouble with, but In a belt like this, you don't want that. Now, her overall outfit is just glamorous. It's the word that I would describe it. Her, I don't know what you call this, dress, gown, has a lot of sequins on it. It looks very sparkly. I don't know these kind of things, but my daughter saw this and she was like, she's a fairy. And hey, she is an elvish, I would say fairy. Yeah, in that case. But it's nicely done. The fabric is light, but it could drape nicely, especially on the hand. So you can't see her hand here because it is kind of long. But when you put her in that pose, you will be able to. Now let's take a look at the head sculpt here, which I think, it might not be 10 out of 10, but it's pretty darn close, I would say. The eyes here, she's a bit squinting, and I didn't remove that black mark. I don't know what that is. I didn't even notice that, when you're shooting it in hand. But I think they captured the likeness pretty close. I think it's pretty close, especially from that scene. Now, one thing, or maybe two things that I would add here might be the crown. That's pretty significant. I don't know. Maybe that was in the plan. Maybe have it removable if that's one thing that they want to go for. But the rooted hair, I think, was executed beautifully in this figure. If I might add, it's long and curly, but it's quite nice. Now the face to the neck has a little bit of color mismatch. I don't know if you can see it here. Well, the face is fully focused here, but it's not much. But it's so close that you can't help but see, the difference there. So that's one thing. Maybe had a removable tiara or what do you call that, crown, because it was a part of her. And you can see it varies as well. Look at this lighting right here. There's almost no color separation. It depends on the lighting as well, depending on how you hit it. But it's slightly there. And as far as articulation, she has everything. Nothing is being hindered here. Double jointed elbows here. This is not like the female figures from Hot Toys. Double jointed elbows. All the articulation that you would look for is here. So there's no shortage in there. Now the feet, you can see this a bit unsightly, but you would never see this. This is long enough. You barely even see the feet when her entire gown, because this is so long that it covers that part. But you have every articulation. Not that she's not that she's gonna put her in the dynamic poses, but mostly you're gonna pull her in her arms like this. Some poses here where you would cover every joint anyway. So with Galadriel, it's not a whole lot of flamboyant movements that you're gonna do. More of a kind of like this. Is she an elvish wizard or something like that? I don't. But yeah, it's and I'll show some height comparison later on. So if you do get this on Big Bad, this is pretty much what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get that base and that beautiful base, which is a shame. I think Asmus is selling that by itself for $80. It is heavy, but take a look at this. Now it removes some of the greens in here because I do have a green screen, but you see here that you could create an entire scene from that diorama piece itself. And you can see the reflection. Maybe not. Maybe that's the part of the green screen that it do have. But it adds value into the overall presentation, especially if you're displaying it or if you are, taking a picture and all that stuff. Again, those are green plants that get cut off because I'm using a green screen. But nonetheless, I think it looks fantastic. I mean, definitely a must-have if you are picking up this Galadriel. This is the type of things where you're going to be like, you might want to get it from your favorite retailer. But now you got to go to Asmus website because you got to have this. You can put Frodo in there. Even that, even if you don't want to use this for that specific scene, you could use it like a table or something like that. I don't know, something. But here she is along with Frodo and Gandalf, all of them, all from Asmus Toys. So you can see the height differences here. Also the mass. Gandalf obviously a little wider. She is the crown series Gandalf, which I still do love. That Frodo has been with me for, I don't know, man, 8 years, maybe more. It's not the version 2. I know the upgraded the head sculpt, but I'm perfectly fine with my Frodo. Like a little bit of futzing. It's not 100%, but it is close enough for me to make it look like it's Frodo. But you can see here, beautiful trio right here in front of you, with Gandalf. Just nice, just perfect nice. Man, I love me some Lord of the Rings. So, and Gandalf, I can't wait to have Gandalf the White as well. That is coming. I saw this on Big Bad Toy Store. It's still on pre-order, so I can't wait for that. But that is it, guys. Galadriel. You have two options. Pre-order this at Big Bad. I believe it's still not pre-order. Order this at Big Bad or Asmus, straight from the website. Keep in mind, if you do get it from Asmus, the shipping might be, because I did pay pretty penny for the shipping for this because of the piece, this exclusive edition. But I think it is worth it. I believe it's made out of polished stone because it's darn heavy. It is pretty heavy, and the box itself for that is massive. But I think she's a good companion piece to your Lord of the Rings. Especially, I do have a lot of elves now. I have Eldron and the two armies, the two guards, the Elven warrior and archer, and I got Legolas. I'm planning to pick up Arwen as well. So it's just adding to the ever-growing elvish collection that I do have. I know Danny loves some elves, so he might be looking into this, but it's cool. It's not perfect, but it's cool. I like it. A worth addition to any Lord of the Rings collection out there. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I will see you guys in the next video.